Hold on. I gotta get away. Right, so.
Happy Friday, everybody. Today's the day. We are about to load the M3 up to go to Hendel's. We got our fender put on and all that good stuff. Everything's pretty lined up, minus the hood because it's needing a little work. Hopefully the other hood comes in. Cross my fingers, praying the other hood comes in so we don't have to mess with this one and work on this one. But went ahead and took the bumper off because I don't know how Hendel's going to want to do it. I just want to make it easier on him since he's helped me so much with this. So fender's on everything. We're going to go back the truck up, load the trailer, put the car on there, and head to CES tonight. Have an awesome time. Get everything ready for tomorrow morning. Have a cool dinner and start on this maintenance, guys. Let's get it. Mr. Beamer. All right, guys, today's today. Look at this. Kept this baby for this reason right here. For this reason. We're still in date. We're still good. We're still active. Throwing it on the car so we can drive the weekend and test out all the maintenance stuff we're going to be doing with Hendel. It's going to get this bad boy put on. Very nice. Very nice. I sometimes wonder if I work him too hard. Just tuckered out on the job. Little guy, Beamer. Was she sleeping? Oh my goodness. What we're doing right now is we warm the oil up. Now we're about to drain the oil so we can go ahead and see what that looks like. Then once we do that, we're going to start taking the bottom like suspension stuff apart so we can go ahead and get the oil pan off and get to our rod bearings. We can start changing rod bearings in the morning. All right, draining the oil. Let's see what this stuff looks like. We still have 5,000 miles to our next oil change. This stuff should have just got changed depending if he was using 5,000 mile intervals or not. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. So that's good at least. No metal flake. Very happy.
Is that good enough? Yeah, that should be good.
Do you want to spin it or I'll spin it?
You spin it. You give it a spin. I mean, either it's gonna work or it's not. Ah, no, damn. Usually that works every time, but it must just be too far gone.
Messed up.
Yeah, looks like you're gonna be hammering a torques in there. It's in there.
Okay, so this guy was previously stripped out, so Hendel beat a Allen in here. We got it out. Luckily, we have 2 new drain bolts for that, just in case. All that stuff is done. We're ready to go ahead and lower the car back down so we can get the cooling fan out and drain the coolant, so then we can remove the subframe. We got everything off, the sway bar end links. Hendel got everything unwired there, and we're ready for the next step.
They kind of have like a little stopper. I'll show you.
Okay, so right now we're loading the subframe and getting ready to remove that so then we can drop the oil pan and moving on to the next step and see what these freaking rod bearings look like. I'm slightly terrified, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Right there we have the steering shaft. It was an E10 we had to get out, and that's kind of holding the subframe up right now. And we're going to get that loose and we can go and proceed to remove the subframe. You can hold this down.
Hold on, just let this drain out.
Okay. The bottom of an S65. An amazing place. Oil pan is dropped. We have everything ready to go in the morning to go ahead and do some rod bearings. Then we're gonna call it a night now. Go ahead and get a fresh start early in the morning. We got everywhere we need to go and maybe a little more. I don't really know what Hendel was anticipating, but he knocked this out in like no time. So good stuff. We're gonna head home, come back in the morning and knock this stuff out.
So Quaid went with the ACL bearings. If I can get this box open. These are the custom size bearings. So it's a mix of the standard size and the extra clearance. I forget which one has the extra clearance. It's either the upper or the lower side. And told them to get some ARP hardware. So that's what we're using. These are high quality bolts. You can just tell by looking at them. Very expensive too. Typically we'd run the BE bearings, but since they're out of stock, we have to run the ACL, which is nothing wrong with that either. So next what we have to do is take off the pickup tubes. For the rear sump, the front pickup tube we've already taken off. But we need to take off the rear pickup tubes in order to get to all the rods and take off all the rod bolts and then replace the bearings for all cylinders. And that's your lower. So. And just an organizer I like printing out.
Okay, so Hendel's got all the bearings laid out. He kind of gave a brief description of what's going on and why we're doing what we're doing. Hendel's very good at what he does. He knows the in and outs. He is very thorough. That's why I chose him to do this. He's probably one of the best ones around here to do this, and he's a friend. Just really appreciate their help in their business. Big shout out to Hendel. Big shout out to CES and John, everybody for letting us happen and just helping out with this. It's really cool to let me be a part of this and do everything together. So really excited about this, guys. I cannot wait. It's super cool. I just love getting back into the cars, getting my hands dirty and just doing this stuff. It just makes me really happy and I miss it so much. I'm really happy to be back involved with it. All right, we are working on getting the first rod cap off. Going to see what bearing on cylinder, what now?
This is cylinder, should be cylinder 7.
Cylinder 7 looks like. Starting there and seeing what we got. We decided to do this tonight, so send it. We're gonna wait, but we're just gonna go ahead and send it and do some of these tonight probably and just see what we got here. I'm kind of anxious to see how these look, how bad they are, if they are bad at all.
Well, it's got some wear.
Nothing too serious.
It's even wear. It's not bad.
Good stuff, cylinder 7 down.
Okay. So this is
There's a little comparison side by side of an ARP rod bolt and a factory rod bolt. Significant difference there. A lot stronger, a lot better quality, and different torque procedure. And this is the top bearing. Does not look bad at all. There's it compared to a brand new one. Not a lot of wear. Definitely some wear, but nothing too significant to worry about. Brand new, ready to go. Taking a rag right now and wiping the crank. Crank looks healthy, looks good. No wear, no gouging. Everything looks good on that end. Right here we have red line assembly lubes. What we're going to be doing to put on the bearings and brush it on so we get proper cold start so we don't prematurely wear the bearings on first start since they've never been ran before and they're going to be dry. Like icing on a cake.
So you want to use lubricant to torque these. Used to precisely replicate all ARP fastener clamp load specifics. There you go. You want to put it on the threads, and then you also put it on the head a little bit. There you go.
So Hendel, what's exactly the torque procedure on this? Just
50
one and done?
foot-pounds on each one, and you're done.
do you go like 10 on one side and then 10 on the other and then up and down, or do you just straight 50?
No, I'll do like 12 foot-pounds on each side, and then I'll do 50.
Perfect.
Just to get it seated. All right.
And that's torqued, folks. All right, so it's 11:40, basically 12 o'clock. We said we were gonna do this in the morning, but Hendel started. Hendel's dedicated and determined, and he was like, we're here, so we're doing it. He's gonna knock all these rod bearings out tonight. Freaking wild, man. Throw the thing back together in the morning and do the valve cover gaskets and all that little stuff, and drive the car tomorrow and whip it around a little bit. All right, boys and girls, it is not even barely 1 a.m. yet. Hendel freaking killed it, knocked these rod bearings out, torque to spec, all that good stuff. We are ready to throw it back together in the morning. Old rod bearings, none of them look really that bad. Definitely some wear, but you know, as to be expected. Definitely not bad at all. Very happy about that. Time to head home, get some sleep, come back tomorrow, knock this thing out, and finally get to drive the car. Super exciting, super cool. I cannot wait. Thank you, Hendel, so much. You're freaking awesome, dude. Thank you. Thank you.